All right, it was reported yesterday that Jared Goff, he threw a few touchdowns to T.J. Hockenson. Let's talk about why I believe T.J. Hockenson will, this is just my opinion. This is why he will statistically break out under Jared Goff and the way he did under Matt Stafford. But hit the thumbs up button, share the video if you don't like it. The thumbs down button. If you like what you hear, you ain't subscribed. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. And I noticed that through the years, man, in bringing up the Lions draft history and just overall they brought in several tight ends over the course of Stafford's tenure. So Stafford got here with 09. Yep, 09. Yep, he got here 09. Okay. He got here 09. And he got drafted. He got his first round brethren was Brandon Pettigrew. Then and I'm talking about tight ends. And then you looking over the course of time, they end up bringing in they did have Michael Williams. I don't think he really appeared, the one from Alabama. Eric Ebron, they brought him in, and eventually T.J. Hockenson. Also, you had Fourier, you had Tony Scheffler. So you had a couple tight ends they brought in here, and I don't know why Fourier didn't stick. He was great in the end zone. He had that great game in Cleveland. Was that because when he slipped? I think he slipped, and he lied about his injury. The reason why he got Detroit. But one of the issues with Matthew Stafford was, and also you look at Ebron. I want to bring up Ebron's when Ebron played with Andrew Luck. It was Andrew Luck was a better fit for Ebron than Stafford as well too. And you had two guys with questionable hands with Ebron and Brandon Pettigrew. Remember that Tennessee Titans game when the dude took the ball from Pettigrew and ran the other way, and then they had ran in the OT. But you look at his Pro Bowl year and Eric Ebron, it was simply that he got more targets than he ever got in Detroit with 110. He got more receptions, 66, 750 yards. That's around 39 more yards he got in Detroit, 13 touchdowns. One thing about Andrew Luck is he threw a more catchable ball than Stafford. If you wasn't a natural catcher of the football, chest, body catcher, or hands catcher, you wasn't going to survive with Matthew Stafford. And one thing we seen with Brandon Pettigrew in their scheme in Indianapolis, they used Pettigrew vertically. And Andrew Luck was able to throw a very catchable ball that dropped right in his hands. In Detroit, they was trying to use him as a crossing route receiver, as a guy that really worked the intermediate and the short route. And that wasn't him. And when they sent him to Indianapolis, he was a dude that they knew his strengths, they knew his weaknesses, and he was a dude that got vertical. So a lot of times, schematically, it was the Detroit Lions who really failed their tight ends. But even when they got him T.J. Hockenson, they didn't have much success. Even Hockenson last year, I thought Hockenson could have did a lot more. Had the tight ends in the NFC been healthy, Hockenson wouldn't have made the Pro Bowl. Let's keep it 100. He wouldn't have made the Pro Bowl. And it's not his fault, It's just that he didn't get enough. He didn't get a lot of targets. To me, he did not get a lot of targets, bro. And when you look, he had 101 targets last year, right? And remember, last year wasn't no Galladay. 723 yard, 16. That's not enough. And I think people have really realized that Stafford don't like throwing over the middle. When a lot of picks Stafford throw, it's over the middle. Remember last year with Chicago, when he could have iced the game with a first down, but he did that RPO with Marvin Jones, and they threw a pick. He threw a pick, and that kind of, which I'm talking about the first Chicago game, that's what kind of made Chicago rally back too. There was some injuries too, but he turned the ball over in his own damn near 20, whatever it was. So, that was also something to look at as well too. But yeah, I just don't think he do well over the middle. A lot of his picks from just memory, I could be wrong. A lot of his picks happen over the middle. Every now and again, he'll throw a pick on outside the hashes. Outside the hashes, I think he vertically and outside the hashes. I think Stafford is is a dog. When you start to get throwing over the middle, throwing in tight windows, kind of, anticipating windows, I think that's what Stafford got in trouble at. And I think that's where in the scheme, tight ends really thrive at with the Lions. I think that's what really thrive at over the middle. And I just think he never mastered throwing over the middle to tight ends. And I think that's been a huge issue, man. Him going over the middle to tight ends. And I also think they should have switched it up where they would have had tight ends get vertical. You don't see a lot over the years of tight ends running through the seams, or tight ends what they did in Indianapolis with Eric Ebron, put them on wheel routes, put them on deep post routes, or put them on the corner, put them on the wheel, or they would put them on a whatever you go out and up like an arrow route or something like that. Detroit, all they tight ends, they don't look and say, well, this is what he do well. Let's play to his strengths. And I think that's kind of why Hockenson never. For one, they don't abuse something when it's there, and two, Hockenson hasn't been able to get vertical. All they shit is crossing routes. If you notice, it's digs, crossing routes. It might be an occasional corner route, but when you talking about all I gotta do is worry about a dude running inside, guess what? I can shade him on the inside. You know what I'm saying? I can bracket him. When you outrun the bracket is when you get vertical, or when you run a little jerk route, and they just ain't really took advantage of tight ends. And I think with Jared Goff, I think in St. Louis /LA, they didn't really abuse tight ends, but when he had great games to tight ends, it was Higsby and Everett getting deep and getting vertical. So I think for Jared Goff, he's a better inside the hash restorer from what I've seen. I could be wrong in LA, and I think that's gonna help him. Instead of he not gonna have a Cooper Kupp, now he's gonna have a Hockenson, a big body guy that's gonna get over the middle, who can get vertical. So I think Jared Goff is gonna experience something that he really haven't experienced. I think he's gonna experience a big body tight end working the middle of the field, and it's up to Anthony Lynn to get him vertical. Because most of the Detroit Lions tight ends don't get vertical. It's pretty much, if they do, they stopping and doing a dig, they stopping out and doing an out. They don't. It's a timing route. You don't see them go on a deep corner, a wheel. That's something that Indianapolis Indianapolis show why they're a better program, a better organization. They tailor their offense to their players' strength, and Ebron was able to take advantage of Ebron's speed and being a great over the head catcher, deep catcher. So I think Hockenson can break out. I think Jared Goff is gonna have fun. Because you seen throwing over the middle to Cooper Kupp, to Woods and Cooks over there. I think he's going to have fun. I think they're going to implement some of them deep corner routes, some of what they did in Los Angeles. I think you see them, they're going to implement what Detroit try to do, dig and timing patterns from Hockenson. But I think at this point, you see what they did with Gronkowski. I think you can do the same thing with Hockenson and Kelsey. Where you can get them going out and come back in and use their big body. You can get him stacking the defender and getting him with an option route, either sit, post, or corner, or you can say, you know what, man-to-man coverage, I'm gonna put him on the corner route, and I'm gonna see if you can stop him. So that's the beautiful thing about Hockenson, is just Stafford couldn't really take advantage over the middle, and then the schematics, the blueprint, didn't want to put dudes vertical. I mean, last time you seen the Detroit Lions really attack a tight end in the scheme, and they see a lot of zone. When you see the last time you seen, them attack somebody in the corner consistently, that's what you give. You're gonna take a tight end in the top 10. You have to give him opportunities. It shouldn't be no question that he should have had 100 receptions last year with Galladay being out. So that's the thing about it. I think Jared Goff has shown in his hot games to Higsby and Everett, and also basically Cooper Kupp wasn't nothing but a tight end. That's all Cooper Kupp was. Cooper Kupp was just a tight end. But that's all he was. He wasn't the fastest guy, but he was a route runner. He's a dude. He was a tight end chain mover. When they needed a first down, Cooper Kupp, when they do play action, they, when Everett and Higsby when they wasn't in factor in the game plan, other than what's up, boy, Ty Gurley, Cooper Kupp was they tight end. Cooper Kupp is the one that moved the chains. Cooper Kupp was the one running the digs and running the timing patterns, the digs, the outs, the comebacks. That Cooper Kupp was running. Cooper Kupp was a number the tight end. You know, on play action, they didn't look for Everett Higsby. They go out there and be three receivers and single back, and they'll look for Cooper Kupp. So I think when they talk about Saint Amon, Robbie, and Cooper Kupp, I think Cooper Kupp is going to be T.J. Hockenson in this offense. You know, Hockenson continue to do his route running, clean his route running up. They gonna be one of the better duels in the National Football League. It may amount to wins, it may not amount to wins. But when you look at what St. Louis did on third downs, if it wasn't the back Cam Akers, Todd Gurley coming off the backfield, they was looking for Cooper Kupp. You know, that was a chain mover. And I think the Lions should use T.J. Hockenson like Cooper Kupp. I think that's what they should do, but that's just my humble opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Check the Detroit Lions Talk playlist out for more videos like this. Don't forget you find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all my social media links there. Facebook group link there as well too. You can chop it up, whatever you want to do, video requests, or whatever it may be. Hit me up. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. Venmo CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate. Thumbs up. Thumbs up the video. Shoot a video. Subscribe to the channel. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know in the comment section. Peace.